Hi, Robert.
Well, hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well.
It's so good to see you again.
Yes, thank you.
And of course, Siri. How are you doing, sweet pea?
Well, that's why we're here, because I don't think she's doing so well.
Yeah, I saw that on the appointment books, that you thought that over the past month or so, she's been feeling a little puny.
Yeah, it's, you know, she's just showing a lot of fatigue and not eating much, and I'm kind of worried about her. You know, I have her as a PTSD service dog.
Sure.
And so I depend upon her cues, and her just being lethargic and all. It just doesn't work as well, and so I'm worried about her.
I would believe that, and that's very stressful for you too. I know,
Yes.
with her being your service dog, we need to make sure that she's up and running for the count here. So tell me about this. It's been about a month.
Yeah, well, maybe 3 weeks or so. Could be a month. We get up in the mornings, and she doesn't seem to want to do much. She just wants to lay around. And maybe I'm partly to blame on that too, because I'm not feeling real good in the mornings right now.
Oh.
But we used to go out for walks and go out in the woods and just have very active, energetic times. And she's a very active dog. And here lately, we're just sort of just blah. I mean, we're just not doing much. And like I said, maybe I'm partly to blame, but
yeah. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well too. I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to get a little bit of background information just to make sure we're on the same page. Right. And then we're going to look into this a little bit further. So diet, is she still eating the Purina? I think she was on Purina Pro Plan before.
I was feeding her that. My money's been very difficult. So I found that just her food is so expensive. And I'm having to make choices between her food and my medicines.
Absolutely.
So I went to Walmart and just bought a cheaper brand. And I tried to do the right thing by switching over slowly. So maybe I'm the reason she's not eating well with this cheaper food. I blended them into as long as the Purina would last. Okay. But still, she's just not eating like she usually would.
Okay. Well, I mean, it certainly could be diet with a change like that. And you changed about a month ago.
Yes.
Okay. Any other food? Does she graze outside, some table food, or get into the trash by any chance?
Oh, no, she never gets in the trash. She's a very good dog. I give her some of my food now, just occasionally, just since she's not eating so much, I'll give her a few more treats. I give her some of the things that I'm eating.
And when you say your food, what kind of things is she eating?
Well, I'm grilling out mostly on the porch now. And
nice.
You know, it's gotten colder, but the electricity was off for a while so I could get my check. And so I was cooking on the porch most of the time. So power's back on now. I can run the furnace for heat, but we still cook on the porch. And I give her some chicken and some hot dogs, but mostly, you know, when I'm cooking, it's just, you know, pot of beans, some potatoes, things like that.
Okay. Sounds good. Any other concerns with the diet change? Vomiting, diarrhea, coughing?
Well, I haven't seen her throw up or anything. You know, she hadn't done any of that, but she has coughed some. You know, I've been coughing some, and I was wondering if she could be catching the cold that I had, and maybe that's why she's being a little lethargic and not moving around much.
Well, I mean, certainly certain bugs can go back and forth between people and animals. We don't see it a lot, but she's been coughing then for the past month as well.
At night, I've noticed she's coughed a little bit.
Okay. All right. And so then I'm going to get back to the lethargy. So would you say, since you noticed it, better, worse, about the same for the past month?
I'd say it's probably a little worse.
A little worse. Okay.
You know, if it was getting better, I wouldn't have used the money to come.
Good. Well, I'm glad you're here. And still no other pets. It's just Siri. It's
just her. We've been living in this house, just us, for several years now. Just an old house, but it does what we need it to do.
Absolutely.
No other animals around. She's out on the porch with me a lot, and we go for a walk in the woods, but she's not really around any other animals. We're out there a lot by ourselves.
All right. So you bring up a good point when you say you're out in the woods. Are you still using the flea and tick and heartworm?
I'm sorry, we're not.
That's okay. Don't apologize.
I know she should have it. it's cost a lot of money, and I
sure
didn't have
does.
the money, and it needed to be refilled 3 months ago. And with it, starting to be cold weather now, I just had to make some choices, and I figured that wasn't quite as important.
Oh,
If there's some
absolutely.
cheaper alternatives, I'd love to hear them.
We will definitely give you some. And I agree with you, as it starts to get a little bit colder, the flea and tick we're a little bit less worried about. Heartworm we do get worried about here in North Carolina.
Still?
Because we do, because
right.
it's just so much out there. But we're going to get you some other alternatives with that. And any other medications that she's on?
No, she takes nothing else.
Nothing else.
I
Okay.
wonder if, with her acting so depressed at times, would my medicine for depression help?
That's a good question. Now, you haven't given her any.
No, I haven't.
Okay. We do have dogs that do have some anxiety issues and that sort of thing. And there are some medications that we can try with her if we think that that's what's going on. So I think the way that I would like to start is I think we should get a good physical exam on Siri. And we may need to get some blood work, but I think we need to start with a really good physical exam. And let's make sure that if something is going on with her, that we get to the bottom of it.
Okay. Thank you.
Great.